Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey Wise with me, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 8, where we're going to be reviewing the GlenDronach 15, as you can probably see up on screen. I'm going to get the bottle out and explain to you, we've just got a little bit left, what I've got in front of me. So if you have missed the whiskey review before, whiskey review number 7, I did review the 12-year-old, and I got this like little set over here. You can see it's the miniatures from the GlenDronach range. It contains the 12, the 15, which is actually discontinued, and the 18. And also, behind it, I've got the Helion, the Peated, and the 21. So, pretty much the whole GlenDronach range in mini form, which is really cool, because that way you get to assess everything without putting a lot of money down straightforward to the bigger bottles. Now, in terms of the one I have in front of me, which we're reviewing in this video, the GlenDronach 15, I'll just point it in front of the camera, will it autofocus? Boom. There we are. GlenDronach 15. This is known as the Revival. And Revival, but it was discontinued. Now, there is news that it might be coming back within the next year and a half. So anyone who's got one of these bottles, if you're not really wanting to drink it, maybe you want to sell it within the next month. Well, not next month. The next year or so is when you should probably do it, or as soon as possible, to tell you the truth. Because as soon as they bring out the next version, if it is going to be better, and especially because I heard with different batches of the full bottles, it could be a bit older than it actually states. So some of them are 18 years old, some of them are 20 years old, etc., like that. So that's quite an interesting thing from the GlenDronach distillery. Now, in terms of my whiskey review style, this is a 15-year-old whiskey. It is bottled at 46% ABV, so it is quite nice and very rich. In terms of, I believe it's non-chill filtered, as I've heard most of the GlenDronach, well, the whole GlenDronach range is, and the casks they use to mature the 15 is Oloroso sherry. So a really, really nice cask to use in the whiskey. In terms of the distillery, is the GlenDronach distillery, and the company that does own it is now Brown-Forman Corporation. They did acquire them, I believe, a couple months back, and they own now the GlenDronach, the Benriach, and the Glengosa distilleries, and all their products that they're going to be producing. Now, if you're not too sure with Brown-Forman, they are the guys that do own the Jack Daniels range. So quite a big company, and it's going to be rather interesting. I believe also said it's going to be something unique. Let's see exactly what they do, whether they keep the same style or whether they alter it, or maybe just really see what the consumer is looking for and aim towards that, because just really see what we're looking for in the future. I'm quite excited for it. Now, in terms of the region, for the GlenDronachs, they're all from the Highlands, and in terms of the price, the Revival is around about £50. That was before it was discontinued. Now, as soon as it's discontinued, sold out everywhere. Its price is now shot up to, I believe, in London, it's £115. When I saw it, I think it was in one of the whiskey shops in London. And I said to the guy over there, I said to him, I'm not paying that because I went to Germany and I picked up 3 bottles over there in Cologne in the whiskey fair. So I'm looking forward to when I go back to Germany to take my bottles and bring them back home, so you can see a bottle of the GlenDronach Revival in one of my videos upcoming. And I'm probably going to drink it. When it comes to keeping whiskies, I really don't. I've got more than 100 bottles now, and that's not including the miniatures. So I'm going to drink them, and I'm probably going to have some friends join me for the upcoming reviews as well. Now, okay, so in terms of is it exclusive, I'd say it is kind of exclusive because it is discontinued. So if you do find a bottle, you will be able to find some bottles in the United States, Canada, in parts of Europe, around the world. You will find it. Some places in I know in the UK you can find it a bit up north, but I've not seen anything in London. I think I've seen it only once. So it is quite rare to find. And colouring, natural colour. Great stuff. Alright, so let's get into the assessing of the whiskey. I've only got a little bit, so I can't afford to, do retakes. And it all goes in. That's like 2 bottles in 2 videos that I've completely completed straight away. Not very much to go on, but nonetheless, you can probably see that the 12 over here is like completely missing. Anyway, with the review, before I keep going on. So, in terms of on the colour for the whiskey does have a very nice tint of dark amber. It's very similar coloured. It's almost very similar to the 12, but it's giving that little bit of a glow, and that's why I've gone for the amber sort of colour. You can probably see that just a little bit in the light there. It's got a really nice colour for this whiskey. So on the nose, I'm going to get straight into the nose because I like this. So colour-wise, a nice, really nice colour on that one. Nice, very rich, deep amber. Into the nose. Oh, interesting. A little bit of apples. Again, with the rich fruits. Getting a little bit of figs, prunes. It's interesting. Rum-took raisins again. So that's one trait I've seen that flows over from the 12. Getting a little bit of a sweeter note as well. Reminds me of sticky toffee, almost. It's very, very sweet, but not too much. It's a little bit of a bitter note, but I can't exactly pinpoint exactly what sort of bitter note it is. I'm going to go back to see because there's a little bit more fruitiness over there that needs to be discovered. But bitter note is very evident. It is playing itself over there. I'm getting, again, prunes, rum-soaked raisins, a little bit of sultana skins. It's got a little hint of dryness over there, but I'm unable to pinpoint exactly what that bitterness is. Almost like when you roast coffee beans and you get that first smell, it's like a little bit of a toasted coffee beans, or even cocoa. Yeah, it's more or less between the two. It's somewhere like cocoa coffee beans. It's quite an interesting mix because it's like it's a bit refreshing, but at the same time, it's bitter. I'm probably going to go more towards a coffee, but hints of cocoa. I'm going to go with a hint of cocoa there, a bit of dark cocoa. Wow, that is an incredible nose. It's got so much complexity just on the nose. So let's go on to the palate and assess the whiskey. Wow. So in terms of the overall, the texture of the whiskey, it is, I'd say, a medium light. It's not medium. It doesn't have such a heavy body at all whatsoever. But one thing you do find initially is that little bit of spice. It's like pepperies, cloves, nutmeg, grated nutmeg. Sorry for the accents. Grated nutmeg. Not really cinnamon at all in this one. And then it leads into that espresso. Very freshing. It's like a freshly made espresso. Coffee. I think a little bit of chocolate over there, but I'd love to do a whiskey pairing alongside this one. That's interesting. The second time you sip it, that spice stays consistent. Sometimes when you have a whiskey and you do it a second sip, the spice is not there. On this one, the spice is still there. Still present. Dark chocolate, this is like 80%, 90%, probably 90% plus dark cocoa, dark chocolate. That espresso is still there. And then you're getting that fruitiness. It's definitely there. You're getting that very rich sultanas, raisins. Really succulent dry fruits, if that makes sense. Really playing itself really nicely on there, right at the end. That bitterness, that little bit of cocoa and espresso is still there. Very, very strong, very notable. But this does offer a lot of complexity. So let's finally assess the finish. what I'm doing is just moving it around the palate, letting all the different taste buds play into it. Now straight away, I'm getting like cloves. It's a little bit stinging on the palate, and I don't think that's the ABV. It's all these different notes playing around, but maybe a little bit ABV. But definitely the cloves are there. The spice is very well evident. A little bit of creaminess as you leave it a little bit longer on the palate. It does roll off a little bit more creamy, almost like clotted cream. A little bit of fudge. It's really, really nice, and that dry fruits there. But compared to the 12 left a little bit of oakiness. I'm not getting the oakiness with this one. This one's not really drying out the palate too much. You're getting a very nice, rich fruitiness, which does stay there. In terms of the finish, this is definitely, I'd say, it's definitely better than the 12. It's more or less on the lines of a medium to long finish. It is staying there. I can still feel it. And it's something I'm enjoying quite a lot because I love my whiskies to have a really long, quite a long finish, and medium to long is perfect for me. So let's do overall comments, and then I'll give you the rating. Overall comments on the whiskey, I think it's a fantastic whiskey, very nice, richly sherried. I think nice spice in it, offers complexity for the price that you can pick it up for if you find it. If you find it within that 40 to 50 pound range, even up to 65, I'd be happy to pay in pounds, because the way that whiskey offers those complexities in the spice, the rich sherry, the mouth-warming feel, it offers quite a bit, even that espresso sort of feeling as well. So I think that's something that I enjoyed quite a lot with this whiskey. In terms of the downside of it, it is that it's discontinued. So if you do find it, some people will be hesitant to even open the bottle. Some people want to just avoid it, because some people will say just don't try something that you're not going to get again, but you will get it again in another year and a half, 2 years. So it would be something I'd definitely say get your hands onto this one, because it is a really, really good whiskey. I like this one. It's something that I found it's just topped the 12. In terms of ratings, I'm going to go with my makeshift over here. Makeshift ratings over here. I'm going to give it a 92 out of 100. Hope that makes sense over there. 92 out of 100. I think it's a fantastic whiskey, and as soon as something pushes over the 90 bracket, for me it's an automatic buy. So I'd say if you get a chance, if you find it, please do pick it up. It's something I think you won't regret if you do like a nice heavily rich sherry whiskies, as it definitely ticks all the boxes in my opinion, and for something that you probably won't find for another year, definitely something I'd recommend. So hopefully you have enjoyed the review. Please do let me know if you have tried the GlenDronach Revival and what did you think, as I'm really looking forward to it, and let me know your tasting notes as well. Leave those down below in the comment section, as I'd like to know that as well. But anyway, hope you get a chance to try that, and if not, try finding miniatures, because they are the best ways to try whiskies, especially if you can't find the bigger bottles. So if you have enjoyed the review, by all means please do drop it a like, feel free to subscribe, and also follow me on Twitter, as that way you can keep up to date with all my new videos, as well as what I'm tasting currently every sort of weekend. So anyway, this has been Whisky Wise, this has been Jason, and I'll catch you all for the next whiskey review.